The flashing lights of a police car. A black man in his car, minding his own business, until everything changes in an instant. When Officer Thompson pulls him over, it seems like just another routine traffic stop. But this interaction quickly takes a dark turn. The officer's words, racially charged. The tension in the air, unbearable. As the officer's harassment escalates, no one could have predicted what would unfold next. Unbeknownst to Officer Thompson, this isn't just any man he's targeting. The truth behind this encounter will leave you speechless. Dash cam footage reveals something no one expected, flipping the narrative completely. As secrets are exposed and loyalties tested, what happens next is a game changer. Stay tuned, because what happens after this is something you'll never see coming. As the camera rolls, the officer continues his questioning, growing increasingly agitated with every answer the man gives. His tone sharpens, his words cutting through the still night air. The driver, Marcus, stays calm, perhaps too calm, like he's seen this before, and maybe he has. What Marcus doesn't know is that this isn't just a random stop. It's part of something much bigger. Officer Thompson, with his arrogance and prejudice, doesn't realize who he's dealing with. But that's about to change. Marcus isn't just any ordinary citizen. He's an undercover FBI agent sent to investigate a string of corruption cases within the local police department. Thompson's harassment? It's all being recorded. But even more unsettling is the realization that the officer he's facing is a key player in the very investigation Marcus is leading. As the tension thickens, we're left wondering, who's the real criminal here? The truth is closer than anyone thinks. As the minutes tick by, the air in the car grows heavier. Marcus can feel his heart pounding, but his face betrays nothing. Officer Thompson paces around his vehicle, barking orders like a man in control, but his eyes flicker with something darker, suspicion. Marcus knows the game, the rules, and how to keep his cards close. He's played this part too many times, but today, something feels different. The officer's increasing hostility feels personal, almost like Thompson is testing him, waiting for him to crack. Back at the station, things aren't any better. Thompson's colleagues, the ones who cover for his actions, are starting to notice his behavior. They're beginning to wonder if his rash decisions are the result of something deeper. So Marcus has to make a choice, but the seconds are slipping away. He thinks of Reynolds, sitting in that dimly lit office, his hands trembling as he sifts through evidence he's gathered. Marcus knows that Reynolds is close, dangerously close to discovering the department's darkest secrets. He can almost hear the phone call now, the one that's going to change everything. Suddenly, Thompson moves, stepping back toward his cruiser. The moment feels like a lifeline. Marcus's hand reaches for the dash cam. His heart is racing as he knows that the next few moments could expose the officer and expose him too. But just as he's about to press the button, a scream breaks the stillness. It's distant at first, then growing louder, more urgent. Marcus's instincts snap into place. Something is wrong. The officer hesitates. His eyes flick to the side, distracted, and that's when Marcus knows. The situation just shifted. The officer isn't in control anymore. Marcus's mind races as he reaches for the button again. But before he can, Thompson's voice cuts through the tension like a knife. Get out of the car. Everything in Marcus's body tells him to comply, but something in his gut says the time to stay calm has passed. Whatever's happening, whatever's about to happen, it's bigger than the two of them. The truth, the corruption, it's all spiraling toward them, and they have no idea who or what will come out on top. Marcus's pulse quickens as he hesitates, hands still on the dashboard, caught between obeying the officer's demand and something deeper, something primal, that tells him not to move. The scream in the distance has stopped, replaced by an eerie quiet. It's as if the whole world is waiting. Thompson's stance is tense, his hands still resting on the gun, but now there's an odd edge to his gaze. It's like he's seeing something Marcus isn't, something just outside their bubble of confrontation. For a moment, Marcus wonders if this is it, if he's finally out of options. But then, from the corner of his eye, he sees something, someone, emerging from the shadows near the cruiser. It's another officer. A different one, someone he's never seen before, stepping out from behind the trees with deliberate calm. The newcomer doesn't seem to have the same tension in his posture, but his eyes are cold, calculating. He's watching Marcus like a predator, and in that moment, Marcus realizes something chilling. This isn't just about Thompson anymore. Thompson looks over, his face going pale for the briefest second, before he masks it with his usual arrogance. What's he doing here? Marcus can hear the unease in his voice now, but it's quickly masked with aggression. The new officer doesn't answer. He just steps forward, his eyes flicking to Marcus, then to the dash cam, then back at Thompson. There's a silent exchange between them, something that speaks volumes, and Marcus can feel it in his gut. This was never about the traffic stop. This was about sending a message, a warning. "Get out of the car," Thompson repeats, but this time his voice is more insistent, a command laced with fear. The newcomer shifts his weight, glancing over at Marcus with a slight tilt of the head, like he's waiting for something, maybe even anticipating what Marcus will do next. It's a silent standoff, one that could go either way. Marcus knows he can't stay in the car forever. He's about to step out, but then the newcomer pulls something from his jacket, a badge. Not just any badge, but one that's unfamiliar. It doesn't match any law enforcement badge he's ever seen before. For a split second, Marcus's mind races. It's a federal badge. The kind that only people in the highest ranks of the bureau should carry. FBI, the newcomer says, his voice low, controlled. "Agent Carson." Marcus's heart skips. Carson, what the hell is going on? Before Marcus can process the new revelation, he hears a loud asterisk crack asterisk, like a gunshot, but it's not coming from anywhere near them. It's coming from the direction of the police station. Thompson reacts instinctively, his hand jerking toward his weapon, but Carson steps in the way, a quick flash of authority in his movements. "Stay down," Carson commands. Everything that Marcus thought he knew about this situation is now thrown into chaos. A whole new layer of danger has been exposed. The officer he thought he was investigating is just one part of a much bigger puzzle, and now it's clear. Someone is trying to silence the truth. Marcus knows that if he doesn't act now, he could lose everything. His cover, his life, and maybe even the case he's worked for so long to expose. The clock is ticking, and the web of corruption has just tangled even further. The air is thick with tension, each breath feeling like it could be the last. Marcus stands frozen, caught between Carson's cold stare and the silent threat of Officer Thompson, who's gripping his gun now, eyes darting between them. The chaos from the direction of the police station grows louder. Sirens wail in the distance, and gunshots echo like the start of a war. Time seems to slow, but Marcus knows he doesn't have much of it left. "Agent Carson," Thompson snarls, his voice full of venom. "What the hell is this?" Some kind of setup. Carson doesn't flinch. He steps closer to Marcus, keeping his eyes locked on Thompson, but his words are directed at Marcus now. "You need to leave now. There's no time." Marcus's heart races as his mind spins. He knows that this moment is crucial. This is the moment that could unravel everything. But just as he starts to move, he hears the unmistakable click of a weapon being drawn. His instincts kick in, but before he can react, the first shot rings out. But it's not aimed at him. Carson moves like a blur, ducking just in time as Thompson's bullet grazes past his shoulder, hitting the tree behind him. The sound of it, Reynolds moves quickly, apprehending both Carson and Harris, unraveling the web of lies that had tangled Marcus in the first place. The corruption within the department is exposed, and the FBI begins its real investigation, this time without the manipulations of Carson or Harris. As Marcus watches the criminals being taken away, he can't shake the weight of the truth. The system is broken, but maybe, just maybe, this small victory is the first step toward healing. For him, for the community, and for everyone who's ever been silenced by power. The fight for justice is never over.